festival of Samhain.
It's a Celtic word. It means the Lord of the Dead, the end of summer.
Hello YouTube, it is me, Samhain again, and it's time for another mask review, and today it will be the 2018 Michael Myers mask, also known as the H40 or the H18 from Trick or Treat Studios. Now this one is mostly a stock mask, except I did kind of reroute the hairline a bit, and I also pulled some of it off the bottom row because I felt it was just too long. And I felt that pulling it out by hand was better than cutting it with scissors because when I've seen some of the ones that other people have cut, they're a little too straight and clean looking. Pulling the hair out is a bit harder, but it looks a bit more disheveled, which I think looks better personally. If you want to know what the hair looked like before, then just check out the short video that I posted when I first got the mask. One of the first things you might notice here is the paint job. It really doesn't look like the Tots promo photo, but that photo really doesn't look like the screen use mask. So I have a mask that is supposed to look like another mask, but it doesn't. And that mask is supposed to look like another mask, but it doesn't. So there really isn't much consistency here, but you know, it's a budget mask. It's about 60 bucks. It's not terrible compared to a lot of the other copies I've seen, but it really could be better too. And that was something that people brought up last year when this mask was released, that the paint job looked nothing like the movie, and in a lot of cases it just didn't look good at all. I almost feel like it would have been better had they gone for more of like a solid, cleaner paint job and just weathered around the eyes, the mouth, and then did some of the details. This one you can see that some of the paint is weathered off, or it's missing anyway, and I'm not sure if that's on purpose or if they only had time to apply a coat of it before it went down the line or whatever, but somehow it gives it a darker stony shade, which seems to complement the mask a bit more than some of the other masks I've seen where the paint is yellowish and really cheap looking. Now the big thing here that seemed to drive most of the controversy in 2018 when this mask was released was the size. Many people found it to be too small. I find the mask to be just about perfect for me. One thing to remember here is that the mask is made from the same master that the screen use mask is made from. And you must understand that people who work in the movies are typically much slimmer than the average person, which means that this mask is simply going to be too small for some people, and this created somewhat of a backlash for Tots when the mask was released. Now, I feel Trick or Treat Studios could have just avoided the whole problem had they just released two versions of the mask like they did with the H2 Deluxe, and just informed people that the larger version was going to be a different sculpt, but that's what they had to do in order to accommodate larger head sizes. I mean, you would think that a mask company would know that people have different size heads and would of course plan ahead for that. Well anyway, here's a size comparison with the 78, which was released earlier this year, and yes, you can see the 78 is indeed a much larger mask. People with bigger heads have absolutely loved this mask. People with smaller heads have been a bit disappointed. The 78 is a bit big on me. I can get it to fit with a beanie and would probably get it to fit even better with some Velcro, but I'll tell you what, after getting the H40 here, I now know what it feels like to have a mask fit almost perfectly, and yes, the 78 does feel a bit large on me now. But luckily for those of us who have smaller heads but still want a 78, Trick or Treat Studios has released the Boogeyman mask, which is basically, I guess, an improved version of their previous Elrod mask, which many people with bigger heads felt was too small, which means the Boogeyman mask would probably be perfect for those of us who find the 78 to be too big. So if you're looking for a smaller 78, check out the Boogeyman or see if you can find an unsold Elrod hanging around on eBay or somewhere else. Now about purchasing the H40, I don't advise that you buy it online unless you know the exact copy you are getting. With the 78, there's a bit more uniformity. I've only seen two different types of that mask. One has brown hair and a blue tinge like mine, and the other has black hair and is painted almost totally white. So you will probably get one or the other of those if you order the 78 online. However, I have never actually seen two H40s that were alike. They're all very different, so I would not advise you to purchase one sight unseen. Definitely go check these out at the Halloween stores, and that's how I found mine. So that's just about it for this H40 review. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to leave them below. and please subscribe to my channel as I will have plenty of reviews in the future.